Hello and welcome to another Fantasy Premier League video. My name is Steve and today we're going through the Gameweek 2 Gameweek review. And wow, what a game week. We've scored 98 points in Gameweek 2 with a Gameweek rank of 22k, taking us from 1 millionth in the world up to 4k. It's crazy. About everything that could have gone right for my team went right. And we've got a little bit lucky, but hey, there's a little bit of luck involved in FPL, and so we will definitely take it. For those of you on the audio that don't have any visuals, just read out the team for you. I have Raya and Net, who scored 7 against United. I have Trent with 3, Cancelo with 11, Zinchenko with a solo point, and James with 7 across the back line. Martinelli in midfield with 8 points, Salah vice captain at 2, which was actually quite good because there was over 2 million managers captaining Salah this week. Neto came in with 3 points. My captain, De Bruyne, the ginger god that he is, captained 14 points through to 28. Outstanding captain for the week. Luis Diaz scores the only goal in a 1-1 draw against Crystal Palace this morning to come in with 9 points as my key Liverpool differential when a lot of players have gone Robertson and actually lost the clean sheet, so that's worked out well. And then Jesus up front with 19 points, 2 goals and 2 assists. We've got Ward on the bench with 1 point, Castagna on the bench with 0 points. He actually did play but got a yellow card. Archer with 0 didn't get on the pitch, and Plunge 0 didn't get on the pitch as per normal. So I've got some notes for a few of the games. We'll go through not all of them because that'll take too long, but just some of the key points that I've picked out in terms of FPL importance. We'll start with the Aston Villa game. Now, Aston Villa, they still look completely all over the place. To be fair, the goal from Ings was amazing. Like, there's no way Pickford's ever stopping that. That's left foot bullet shot, hidden behind the centre back into the far post. I mean, what a strike. Danny Ings, he's got a nose for goal. He knows what to do. What an absolute stunner of a shot. But that was about it in terms of the good. It then goes down to like the bad and the ugly, really. Decore catches an early yellow. Catches an early injury. Coutinho was booked early. The set pieces for Aston Villa when they're defending still look terrible. They look all over the place. Ramsey, though, to be fair, played very well and looks like he might keep Bailey out of the team next week. I would suspect he might have even been man of the match. It was just heaps of energy. It was all over the place. I think he even earned man of the match for that match, to be fair, and he definitely looked like he's going to keep Bailey out of the team. So all you Bailey owners out there, you might want to have a little bit of a look at that, or even chuck him on your bench. Coutinho did look like he was limping when he came off for part of the walk, but then he started to walk normally, so it might have just been a small knock there. Another random fact that I heard from the commentators throughout that was McGinn has gone 25 games without a goal, so although he is popping shots left, right and centre, actually looking like quite a good potential asset, he actually hasn't scored in a while, so maybe not someone to jump on there. Everton, oh, well, what do you say? Jeez. Gordon up front playing in a false 9 as an out of position player for quite cheap, but he's not making runs that he should. He's not at all positionally aware of what he should be doing in that playing as a false 9. He doesn't look sharp. Like, he even stopped to complain to the ref a couple of times when he thought the ball was going out and the ball didn't, and so he just didn't apply the pressure when he should have to get the ball back. The whole team was giving the ball away completely unnecessarily. They were playing, when there's an early sideways pass to their mate, sometimes they're lifting the ball in the air to send the ball as a little chip shot, which just takes that much longer to bring the ball back down and progress the ball forward on the floor. It was just woeful, really, to be honest. Definitely a team to target. Rondon was on the pitch for ages, but he was a ghost. He hardly even got involved, and so I would be quite keen to be playing players against either Aston Villa or Everton. It's the only reason I actually covered this match in this video, as two teams definitely to target. Man City versus Bournemouth. Oh, what a game. Grealish is benched. Foden starts out on the left with Mahrez on right, and to be honest, that actually looked a lot more potent than in game week 1. It looked a lot more energetic. There was a lot more movement, darting runs, penetrating balls, all sorts. Foden missed a one-on-one from Kevin De Bruyne's pass, so Kevin De Bruyne actually missed out on another assist there, but he could have sideways tapped the ball to passed the ball to Haaland for a tap-in, which I'm sure all the Haaland captainers were screaming at their TV screens or highlights or wherever they caught the match. It's a bit unfortunate. I do not think Pep pulled Foden for not making that pass, to be honest. I think he had a bit of a game plan going into the match, and by half-time, the game was pretty much done and dusted, and so he probably wanted to save the energy of Foden, who looks to be the key man who's going to be moving around to provide that tactical aggression or superiority over the players that Pep is coming up against. We know Pep loves his tactics, and tactics against Bournemouth worked incredibly well. Kevin De Bruyne, absolutely outstanding game. He looked like man of the match. He just delivered ball after ball after ball in behind the defence of Bournemouth, making them turn around and chase the ball towards their own goal, which is the worst thing you want to be doing as defenders. These balls were missing some of the strikers by mere centimetres. And this is with Bournemouth playing in a 5-4-1 compact defensive formation, so they were sitting in their own third for most of the match, and Man City just knew exactly what to do. They played the ball in and around them and just tore them to pieces. Haaland hardly even touched the ball for the whole match. His assist earlier on was awesome. Showed his strength to hold up the play for a 1-2 with Gundogan and play just the right weighted ball through to Gundogan to give him a one-on-one. Great first goal. And then KDB, jeez Christ, he picks up the ball, just over the halfway line on the semicircle, drives through the midfield like he has been doing in game week 1 and in pre-season, as pretty much the only man with those devastating driving runs, and Bournemouth didn't know what to do once he did that. They backed off him, gave him a bit too much space. He chucks in a little body feint to throw the defender and uses the outside of his right foot to slot the ball far post past the flailing keeper. What a finish. That had me fist pumping in the air, no doubt. And then KDB receives the ball on the far left. The great switch from Mahrez, a raking ball from the right-hand side way out to KDB on the left, who holds up the play to wait for Foden, who's just done this mad sprint from halfway, to just wait and wait for Foden to get there and perfectly time the pass through to him. If Foden gets the shot off between two sliding defenders straight at the keeper. Keeper should have done better on this one, but it bounces off the keeper and goes into the goal for KDB's assist. We're pretty happy at this point, let's be honest. Haaland hasn't done anything. KDB's on 1 goal, 1 assist. I'm not trying to rub it in against all of you Haaland captainers out there. I know there are a fair few of you, but I have to celebrate these wins when they come in, because it was a nerve-wracking affair going in. I was nervous game to watch, to be fair. Haaland was in some amazing positions and just didn't get found. It was kind of reminded me a little bit of Foden last season. He was always there and free in the box, but just wasn't being given the ball. And I suspect that's just because Man City haven't been playing with a out-and-out number 9 for quite a while. I think even Pep's comments for the Foden sideways pass was that he shouldn't need to see Haaland to know that he's just going to be there. Basically what he's saying is when that ball comes through, it should be a no-look pass square, And if no one's there, it's actually Haaland's fault. It's not Foden's fault because he doesn't have the time to look up and play that ball. He should just hit it. But that's something that they'll obviously go back and look at in the post-match review. Foden also delivered in a crazy ball to Haaland, which just barely misses Haaland's outstretched leg and for another tap in. Could have been. It's a very high variation match. It could have been a lot worse. Well, for me, or a lot better, I suppose, for all you Haaland owners out there. Foden does come off at half time, and they look to just basically bed down the game. Grealish came on for Foden. Didn't really see a hell of a lot from Grealish, to be honest. KDB just kept doing KDB things all match, which is why he smashed the bonus points. Like, yeah, what did he end up with? Like 46 on the bonus point system or something ridiculous? It was insane. There's a City fixture. Yeah, De Bruyne with 46. The next closest was Gundogan and Cancelo both on 36. And then Foden with the solo bonus on 30 points. But 46 bonus points. That just goes to show exactly how much creativity he was mustering throughout the match. Definitely going to be a hold for me for the next couple of game weeks. And then Haaland gets pulled after missing a huge chance. So this is the one that not many people are talking about, which is a bit weird. Yes, he could have had a tap in, had Foden squared the ball sideways, but in the second half, just before he got pulled, he had basically a one-on-one, completely missed the goal. Don't know if that was from lack of touches throughout the match and he just hadn't picked up that sharpness because he hadn't had his feet on the ball, or if it was just in his head or what was going on. But it's pretty unfortunate miss. You kind of want to see that go in for the lad because, you know, we do want to see what this guy can do throughout the season, and he needs a couple of goals under his belt just to settle him down. He'll still be happy though. 4-0 victory. He's not, you know, he's there to get championship medals and whatnot, as well as score a whole bunch of goals. But he definitely will probably make it into my team sometime this season. Just not as soon as what I thought. Next match, Arsenal vs Leicester. Jesus, wow, just wow! Like that first goal. How the hell he's done that with zero backlift in a super tight state of affairs? There's like three guys around him with nowhere to play the ball, and he just like, screw it, I'm just going to chip the keeper. Top bins, far post. Man, that was, yeah, the guy's playing with confidence, that's for sure. His second goal, that is just awareness and just knowing where balls are likely to going to end up. He ghosts in far posts with no one marking him. The ball gets whipped in near post. Vardy tries to get his head on it, glances it, goes over everyone just to Jesus in the far post with a tap in. Yes, it's a very easy finish, but the key here is his awareness to be in the spots where the ball is most likely to end up, and he doesn't disappoint. However, he could have easily had a hat-trick in this match as well. I don't know how he did not get a hat-trick. All you Jesus captainers out there, I mean, you've done extremely well. Don't get me wrong, you've done amazing, but fuck, he could have had a couple more. He's missed an open goal with a ball that came into him second half, bouncing quite high. He had to swipe at it with his left foot on a half volley with an open net and hit the side netting. Could have quite easily been a hat-trick and 2 assists, which would have been insane. However, Jesus comes out with all the FPL points, but the man of the hour, the guy that actually I think played the best in the match, was Martinelli. What an outstanding performance. That goal he hit as well is stupidly hard to get right. I mean, that ball is coming across his body, like literally running, you know, parallel to goal, and he's running, you know, away from where he's shooting to hook the ball back on a 45-degree angle to go back far post, keeping the ball low and with power. He's just hit that ball supremely well. Like, Ooh, wee, what a goal. Yes, I was definitely fist pumping the air when that one went in as well, because he'd done so much work in that match. He deserved to get something out of it, and I would have been happy with an assist, but that goal is awesome for the FPL points. Um, the only other thing to pick up here, I believe, was that Ward in goal for Leicester looks super dodgy. He put them under all sorts of pressure when he didn't need to. There was some easy grasps out of the air where he's choosing to palm down or push away. There's the clearance where he's like running at his defender and he just tries to blast the ball almost straight through him. I mean, there's some serious problems there. And who knows how long he's going to keep his spot if that keeps happening. I'm quite worried about that, although it is my 4.0 million goalkeeper. I do have Castagna in my team, who I did buy game week 1 to play in game week 3 to bench Neto, but I am a little bit concerned about Leicester's clean sheet potential. However, Castagna's still looking very attacking, but the clean sheet potential is not looking too assured. So it's definitely something to reassess. Iverson might potentially work his way into this team, or they might even go out and look for another keeper. We will have to wait and see. But Ward definitely needs to get his head in the game, really, I suppose. Brentford versus Man United. Ooh. So as the game's just about to kick off and the commentators, reading through his random stats that they always do at the start of the match, and the stat that stands out to me that he reads is De Gea hasn't had a clean sheet away from home since Christmas. And what happens? 9 minutes into the game, 9 minutes, De Silva hits a low shot. It's not that hard, super easy to save. De Gea, mate. What else do I say? Jeez, it's just rough. Then in the 15-minute mark, okay, so we're trying to play out of the back. We've got this system that we're trying to work where Eriksen drops in from the midfield to come in and split the two centre backs, play the ball wide, and it's an easy workout, right? But Brentford have clearly watched game week 1 and saw what they were going to do. 15 minutes in, Eriksen gets caught with a lazy pass out of defence, and then ends up in a 2v2 scramble where Maguire actually has to commit a professional foul and receive a yellow card so that we don't concede again. Because otherwise the striker was pretty much in on goal. Ball goes out for a goal kick. It's literally 1 minute later, 16 minutes on the fucking clock, and we do the exact same move. The one that just failed, that Brentford were well aware of, and we try exactly the same thing. Eriksen gets caught on the ball, as you would expect, and Jensen just gets left in front of the net with an easy slot in either left side or right side of De Gea. I mean, what are they thinking? Like, these guys are meant to be top quality footballers. You just saw this fail like a minute ago, and you can see the yellow card in trying to stop the counter attack, and you try exactly the same thing again. Like, it's just, man, footballing sense is just all over the place, right? The third goal from a corner, we've got Martinez at 5'9" trying to defend against 6'2" monsters. I mean, what do we expect is going to happen there? I just don't see how we can play a 5'9" centre back in the Premier League. Like, Martinez, maybe push him forward into CDM and get him out of the centre back pairing. Like, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand what the plan is there. I know we want to play the ball on the floor and all that, but what do we do when the opposition actually, has the ball and wants to play the ball in the air? I mean, and then the fourth goal. I mean, full credit to Tony here for this first time pass. I mean, This is a counter where the ball goes out to the left-hand side. Ball's coming through in the air over Tony's right shoulder. Bounces once, and on the second, just before it's about to hit the second bounce, left foot, first time, raking ball across. It's an easy pass. I don't know what the commentators are saying. Like it's an absolutely outstanding Kane-esque pass. He's got fucking acres of space to hit. All he has to do is look up and be like, okay, so anywhere between the 18-yard box and the halfway line, I just need to send this ball in there somewhere, and Mbeumo's just going to sprint at it. It's not a hard pass. Our defence is just not aware, not picking up who they need to pick up. Shaw loses a fucking straight-out sprint, almost has to pull down Mbeumo, decides against it, and Mbeumo slots the ball home for 4-0. Woeful first half from Man United. Like, I almost turned the game off at this point. I was quite mad, but I did want to see what the hell was going to happen in the second half. So what do? Well, we make 3 subs at half time. We get rid of Martinez, Shaw, and Fred, which are all good subs. They're all we've got Martinez short, Fred short, and Shaw, who just didn't quite look on the pace to come off. And we bring on Varane, height, great. Malacia, short but rapid, out on the left wing, and McTominay, which I think he's just been brought in for his industrious in the midfield to go in and use his height and strength to try and upset the Brentford onslaught. And then at the 59-minute mark, we take off Sancho for Elanga. Okay, fair enough. Sancho hasn't been playing amazing. To be fair, no one's been playing amazing. But Rashford has been looking woeful, like so poor. Like, how is he still on the pitch at this point? I do not understand. He should have been raked. He should have been pulled early. But yeah, nothing much got any better for Man United. I mean, the first 15 minutes of that second half was a bit shaky because of all the changes, and then we started to try and bet it down and play some football, but it just wasn't working. The only thing that looked good was Malacia. He was rapid, his ball movement was quick, he did put us on the front foot, and that was it. I mean, if our best players for the whole match is the man that gets subbed on at half time at left back, that's enough said, I reckon. Enough said. Target Man United. Salah versus... I know Salah did not do well in this game. Yes, they lost Darwin Núñez and they were playing with 10 men. We'll go into the Liverpool match in a second. But Salah versus Man United next week as a captain option. Yep, that's basically a lock-in. Chelsea versus Tottenham. Now, this was a match. What an outstanding show of football. Chelsea, I feel for you. There is no way you should have lost that game. I do not understand what is going on with the refereeing. Like, I had to actually have a look afterwards. I was like, who is this Anthony guy? Like, what the hell? And there's... Man, Chelsea fans they've had a bugbear with this guy for a while. I didn't quite understand, but man, there's been some terrible calls against Chelsea in the past when this man is refereeing a match. But it wasn't just the ref. VAR as well. Like, how in what footballing world are you actually allowed to grab someone by the hair and pull them to the ground in the middle of a game? I mean, what? And it's right on screen, like it's a center frame when VAR has a look at it as well. And I mean, perhaps VAR's not allowed to do anything about that in the rules. I'm not too up to play and exactly what that is, and the referee is literally looking right at it when it happens as well, and he just doesn't care. It's like he's got a bit of an issue with Chelsea. And this is coming from a non-Chelsea fan. Tottenham did not... Chelsea did what I thought they would do. They just shut down Son and Kane, really. You shut down Son and Kane, and Tottenham don't really have a lot of attack. Kulu looked like he was a little bit dangerous. Not really. Like, he didn't do anything outstanding or whatever, but it was... I don't know, Tottenham. I don't know, shut down two players and your whole team falls apart. It's kind of that's a bit of a risk, right? It's actually it's actually kind of interesting because Liverpool's got a similar sort of issue. They've only got three players up front that score the goals. They've got no one in midfield that actually scores for them. Same with Tottenham, really. I mean, to be fair, in that first game, it was, the 4 goals went in and Son and Kane were only involved in 1 assist, so probably should eat my words there. But just from a footballing sense, it doesn't look good. You're going to need some new tactics to find new ways to work in Son and Kane, because they are getting easily marked out of matches and when they come up against the big six. So yeah. Anyway, both managers get a red card. Actually, they both got yellow cards as well. First goal goes and they both get a yellow, and then after the match they both get sent off. I can understand why Tuchel's gone mental there. Like, they shouldn't. I don't know if he should have gone so crazy about the handshake and Conte not looking him in the eye at the end of the match. But as a manager watching that match and watching the absolute domination by Chelsea over Tottenham for that full 90 minutes, to have 2 goals conceded in those ways, and then lose your 3 points down to a 1-pointer. I mean, yeah. Tottenham, you've got away with one there. Chelsea fans, my heart goes out to you guys. And on the football and the FPL sense, I'll just cover this a little bit quick. There's not much too much to cover here. James started at right centre back. This is because they were playing 5 in defence and 4 in attack. Tuchel said as much in his post-match interview. And on corners, attacking corners, James is actually the furthest man back, probably for his pace to shut down any counter attacks. However, as they were moving the ball forward, they were playing 4 in defence, and James was getting very far forward on the right hand side and sending balls in. So even though he's playing right centre back in defence, when they swivel into attack, he's still the man that's sending balls in. Still on for bonus. Where did he end up in the bonus here? It was he got 31. Top was 40. Højbjerg, Kane at 32, and then James at 31 when they concede 2 goals. It just goes to show exactly what kind of bits James is doing in the match. Cucurella also starts and was taking corners from the left-hand side. So that's an added bonus for any of you who have moved early on Cucurella. However, I'm not entirely sure what his minutes are going to be like. I think I'd probably have to sit down and actually analyse that instead of just watching the game, but actually analyse that match to see what's going on there. We'll leave that for the transfer video, I think. Mount was back to taking corners on the right, and that's probably because James was sitting as your furthest man back to cover any counter attack. Whereas in Game Week 1, James was actually taking quite a few corners that did not hit the mark very often, and so they probably thought, well, we wasted a lot of corners there, let's get Mount back on them, because his deliveries from corners are pretty pinpoint. And just a final note, I love the passion from both managers here, Conte and Tuchel. It's great. Look me in the eyes when you shake my hand. Tottenham actually only had 37% of possession in this entire match. Kane was shut down in the midfield quite often, as I thought they would. I mean, Chelsea are a great team. Tuchel's just a master when it comes to strategy. He knows what he's doing. One important point, though, is when Spurs started having to chase the game, they went into a 4-2-4 formation with Son, Kane, Kulusevski and Richarlison all on the pitch, which that's just, chuck everything and the kitchen sink at the attack, basically. Well, I suppose the kitchen sink would be sending the goalkeeper up into the attacks, but that's definitely going for it. So even when Tottenham are down and out, it looks like they're going to actually throw as much forward as they can to try and get these points back, which is great to see from any sort of the attacking outlets from your FPL teams. And the final game of the week, this morning's match, Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. I was actually playing Fortnite with my mates last night and saying, what I really need here is for Diaz to do well and for Salah and Robertson to not do very well, because Salah had over 2 million captainers this week, as I suspected that he would, because anyone who did not catch the price rise to switch from Kane to Haaland would have stuck with Kane, who scored a goal from a corner, so that's actually a great move there. But the Salah captainers could have come in and absolutely destroyed all the hard work that De Bruyne did for me, and so 2 points from Salah worked out an absolute treat. Luis Diaz's goal. Man, this guy is just underrated, eh? Luis Diaz. He's done the work of about 4 men on the pitch throughout that match. He was all over the show. And his goal, he picks the ball out way wide on the left-hand side with literally nothing to do. So he just runs at defenders, goes past 4 of them. Count that, 4 defenders from the left-hand side. By the time he gets to the centre of the park, he's gone past 4 men and still manages to bang the ball, rocket top right bins past the keeper with absolutely no chance of stopping the shot. Mate, absolute quality. Thank you very much. You've done me a great service. Nunez, and your red card, mate. You had 2 attempts at it as well. Like, if you watch the lead up into that, when the ball comes in, how did it happen? He chucks his head at the defender in the game, and then once the ball gets cleared, the defender walks back and goes, "Oi mate, don't chuck your head at me," and pushes him. And Nunez just turns around and headbutts him, almost Zidane-esque in the World Cup. What is he? Does he not know that that's an instant red and probably a couple of match ban? Like, you got to keep your head, mate. You got to keep your sense and sensibility, because every other centre back that has sat down and watched that match is going to go, "Oh yeah, I am going to kick your shins. I'm going to hack your ankles. I'm going to say your sisters and whatever." They're going to get in his head on the pitch, and he's going to have to focus so hard on not doing what he did last time. It's going to throw him for his game. And so Nunez owners, if you have jumped on Nunez, it's an unfortunate red card, but probably a sell anyway if he's going to be doing that, because until he gets his head back in the game, once he gets back on the pitch, 9 million, no. You want to drop down to a Luis Diaz at 8, or even further down to Robertson, and hope that Liverpool actually start getting some clean sheets. Diaz also somehow gets a yellow card and still comes out with 3 bonus points. So, I mean, things couldn't have gone any better for me. Could have been a huge variance week this week. My options pre-game were to do what I did, stick with my game week 1 plan and captain De Bruyne. Or I was teetering with the idea of selling De Bruyne down to like a Kulu to upgrade Jesus to Haaland, to captain Haaland for a 4-point hit. And that would have been huge swing in the downswing. So sometimes it's just best to sit on your hands and do absolutely nothing. That's the game week review. That's what we saw from the game week, and any key points that we should keep in the back of our mind for game week 3. I will go into a lot of more player specifics in the transfer plan video coming up this week. I've got a hell of a decision to make on who the hell I'm going to transfer here. I've got 2 free transfers and nothing to do. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do yet. I might even burn a transfer. Like, I've stepped through all my options, and that might actually be the most meta play here. I do not know. We'll have to wait and see. But that's it for this video, lads. So if you did get it this far through the video, go on, mate, give it a like, please, and hit that big red button to get notified about more FPL content coming your way. And until next time, we'll catch you again sometime soon. Cheers.